and welcome to today's video, which is going to be this eye look created with the Dream Street palette from ColourPop. That is the collaboration with Kathleen Lights. I don't know if any of you had the chance to see this palette yet, but it's really pretty and I've loved working with it. I hope that you enjoy this tutorial today. Very fun, very easy, soft, smoky eye that has a little bit of a retro feel to it with the bright lips. So keep on watching if you are interested to know how I got this smoky eye. I'm going to put some lip gloss on though because my lips feel super dry. Let them be getting nourished while I'm getting ready. So I'm going to use the Kathleen Lights Dream Street palette from ColourPop. I love all of ColourPop stuff. I'm going to take the Morphe E27 and I'm going to start with this color right here, which is just a very neutral shade. I'm going to pat that off. So I'm just starting from the outside, but I am going to do my usual cat eye, you know, pulling it up. So I'm going to go back into that color again and fill my brush and then tap it off, and I'm going to go to the other eye. And like I said, this is just going to be so very natural looking with a little bit of smoky on it. And so to achieve that, you want to set that transition color down, but you don't want to get too carried away with it. You want to really just kind of blend it in really good and just have it be more of a shadow than any sort of a color look. So I'm just going to keep working with this until I get it built up to where I think it should be. And it's actually already pretty close. Like I said, I'm pulling this out to make a cat eye, but I'm not worrying about where the line is. I don't want to go too much further past my eyebrow right here, my eyebrow tail. Now I'm going to take my Morphe, this is my M433, and I'm actually going to, this is going to surprise you probably, I'm actually going to go into this dark green because this is going to, when it's mixed with that color right there, it's going to look a little bit more gray. So we're going to just kind of mix the two together and just kind of make our own custom shade there. You guys, you never ever have to stick with a shade just because it's all you have in your palette. Mix them together, make your own shade, because when you get them on your eye, that's what's going to happen anyway. So because I'm keeping the eye kind of a little bit lighter this time, I'm trying to be very careful in that I'm building up the smoky part of it very lightly, because I really want the focal point of this to be the eyes and the lips, but I don't want the eyes to overwhelm the lips. Does that make sense? I hope. And basically, you're just going back and forth on them until when you look in the mirror, you can see that you have the lifted look, the lifted and pulled look. You have your crease shaded really nicely, and you're about, I would say about 2/3 of the way in on that crease. But this look right out here, you're going to start to really draw it up and higher so that it almost meets the tail of the brow. Did you notice that I didn't use very much shadow at all? I was really light-handed on my shadow. And the reason for that is because, you know, you can get a ton off of your brush. You don't think you are, but that's kind of where we get in trouble when we're doing our eye looks, is we put too much on in the beginning, and then you have to either wipe it all off or you have to like try and layer, and it just starts to look muddy and it doesn't look good at all. So this is probably the last time that I'll dip into here, and then I'm going to tap it off. Remember, tap it off because you never want that fallout. And I'm going to just darken up that outer edge this time. And if you roll your brush as you're doing that, you're going to get a pretty even application from rolling your brush. I'm just going to take a kohl liner from any company you have. This one happens to be a waterproof one from Catrice. I like it. It doesn't necessarily have to be anything specific. And I'm just going to do my waterline, and I know you guys are going to freak out, but my hands are clean. I always wash my hands before I sit down. I actually go in and I take as much water off of that waterline as I can with my finger. And then I just lay this black down in here, because black for the smoke that the smoky look that we're creating. I'm going to come out here on this edge and I'm going to thicken up about 1/4 of the way in. I'm going to thicken up that line on the water line so that when I go back in with my, can you guys see how shaky I am today? I am so shaky and I have no idea why. But about a quarter of the way in, you take that line and you just thicken it so that when I go to smudge it out, all of that smudge is going to be right there on the outer part of the eye. Okay. Now I'm just going to take a tiny flat shader brush, just like a little paddle brush. I'm going straight into that green, that dark green, which it's not going to look green because I'm smudging it out so much. Tapping it off. And now I'm just creating really a lot of darkness right there. Just a ton of darkness right there. And then I'm going to turn it over and I'll do the other eye. And the reason for all the darkness only on this part is to create that smoky eye. Now take your brush and just lightly blend it towards the top. And then I'm just going to go in with that last Morphe brush and I'm just going to shade that out. Since I chose not to do the tape today, all you have to do, see how this is trailed down there a little bit? All you have to do is just take that makeup wipe and make a straight line with it. That's it. And it's really, really easy to do, and you still get the tape effect without having to mess with the tape. It's a little bit less of a crisp line, but I actually like that sometimes for these smoky eyes because it just makes it look a little bit more of a smoldering look. This color right here, I just thought it was so interesting. I'm going to show it to you really quick. It's not quite a gray, it's not quite a white, it's not quite a champagne. It's just got like this flip between all three of them, and it's so pretty. So I'm just going to lay that down right there on my lid. And actually, oh my gosh, that didn't take hardly any to lay down on there. And then I'm going to take my other clean finger and I'm going to just kind of go across it so that you don't get a bunch of transfer up onto your other part of your lid there, your upper lid. So I'm laying it down on the lid about 2/3 of the way, and then I go in a little V with my finger, and then I go back in with this clean finger and pick up any excess. I want it to look like it has definitely some on there, but not too much. So now I want you to take any felt tip liner that you have. This is the Man Eater from Tarte. It's one that I'm just trying to use up. I do like it a lot, but it's not necessarily the be all and the end all of felt tip liners. And I want you to just go absolutely as close to your eyelashes as you can. So you're almost on top of those eyelashes, and you're making a tiny, tiny, tiny line on there. And then when you get out here, because I'm not going to do a cat eye, when you get out here, just thicken it up just a little bit so that the focus is out there. But don't come all the way down. Don't go all the way down on your eye, because if you do, it's going to draw that eye down, that look down. So again, we're just going to go from right in that inner corner. I always lay my pen on its side, kind of, so that I have more control. Plus I need the control with my shaky hands. And I'm going all the way along the lash line to darken the lash line up. And then towards the outer corner, I'm thickening it up a little bit. Go back in with that paddle shader brush and just take those two colors and just warm them, or just meld them together. Okay, I'm gonna go do my concealer off camera and I'll be right back with you. Okay, you guys, so I did a little bit of my mascara while I was off camera too. I want you to pick up a pencil brush, have it be a little bit fine, a little bit of that blue, and right next to it is a little bit of this deep brown. It's the deepest shade in the palette. And then I'm going to just take a tissue and just kind of pounce that once in there. Just because if it's too dark, I don't want it to get too dark too fast. And then I'm going to go really, really tight into that bottom lash line. And I'm just going to stay on that outer part. And I am pushing all of that eyeshadow out into the outside of the eye. I'm not coming in at all yet, because I want most of that, again, that smoky eye look to be on the outer eye, and I want it to be lifted. So in order to create a faux cat look, you got to stay on that outside, because if you come in, you're just going to have smoky eye all the way across. So that is what I'm doing there. Now I'm going to take my tissue again, and I'm going to actually rub everything off of here, and I'm just going to go across just to blend a tiny little bit, not very much at all. Okay, bottom lashes are done. So I really only used, well, I did use 4, but I used the lightest color, I used that dark green color, the dark brown color, I don't even know if you want to qualify that as me using it, but then I use this duochrome in the corner that is the shift between silver and champagne. And so it was really just, it's a simple look, but it looks pretty good on your eye. It looks like a more complicated look than it really is. So now I'm going to just choose to use a very unassuming blush. This is my Makeup Revolution blush. This is in Nude. This is kind of a cross between pink and peach. So I really, really do like it. Did I tell you this was Nude? In Makeup Revolution's blushes, it's the Nude matte one. And so I'm just trying to get my hair out of my eyes is what I'm doing. Just doing just a little bit of blush because again, this isn't about the cheeks. It's more about the eyes and the lips. And I'm going to take this highlighter called Butterfly Beach from ColourPop. It is kind of along the same lines of the highlighter that I have on my eyes. So it's going to match it really well. And I'm just picking it up with a duo fiber brush and I'm just going to really not do too much highlighting because again, this is not the focal point. The cheeks are not the focal point, but I do want to have a nice glow going on. So I will do just a little bit of that. And then I'm going to take just kind of a pointed paddle brush and I'm going to take that color and I'm going to put it in the corner, inner corner of my eye, which you could have done this with that color that we used on our lid too. That wouldn't have been a big deal. And in this corner, just to brighten up that inner corner, and I'm going to put a little bit on my Cupid's bow. Then I'm going to take a little bit and I'm just going to lift on the eye right there. Now it's time for those lips. This is about as daring as I get. This is from ColourPop and I can't remember the name of it, but I'll make sure I list it below for you guys. I got a bunch of these minis. There came like 6 of them. So I am trying this really bright lip. For the first time, I'm actually trying something like this. This is totally out of character for me, you guys, totally. So here we go, deep breath, here we go. And my hands are shaky too, so that's not gonna be good. But this is a satin lip, so it shouldn't be too bad. And I'm gonna quit talking so that I don't have my lips moving all over the place. Okay, that turned out to be way more bright than I wanted it to. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a little bit more of a nude color and I'm going to go over top of that. So that is much better, much more subdued, much more like me. And then I'm just gonna put some Sugar Sugar, which is a lip gloss from Marc Jacobs, over top of that in the middle. So that's everything for today's video, you guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. I know that this is a different kind of tutorial than I normally do, but you're all always asking about my eye looks. This is an extremely simple eye look, nothing big to it. Love you guys. I hope that you're all having a great week. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye, you guys.